We are going to start today in a standing position, so you can come right up to your feet. Because if we've been sitting, if you've been in a chair or a desk or on a couch or in a bed, depending on what time you're doing this practice, you need to get up and move the blood flow, move the energy. So we'll just start with simple, a little bit wide, wider than hip distance feet, heels slightly in, hands on your hips. Close your eyes for a moment and soften your knees. So you feel your bum almost comes back when your knees come forwards. It's like you've kind of sat down into the ground. You don't have to go very deep. It's not a squat, it's just a releasing of the backs of the knees. So that when you close your eyes, you have the ability to bend and straighten if you feel unbalanced. Take a full breath in. You might even feel the legs grow straighter, but without locking. Then hold for a moment at the top. Relax your shoulders from your ears. And then soften your knees and exhale into the ground. Now 2 more times. Really big breath in for 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold for an instant. Soften the knees. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold out for a second. And then last one. Inhale. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2. Pause. Now take your chest across and over your left leg. So you can open your eyes if you want to see. For the first one, you're coming down as far as you can manage and reach across the front of the body and a big circle back up. So an inhale across, keep going. And then back up. Get across, back up. And with your eyes closed, just smooth Ujjayi breath. So that victorious breath, the oceanic breath. You might right away feel areas of the mid or low back that are a little tight or tense. We'll do 2 more this direction. So you're going over the left leg, across the front, and rising over the right leg. When you get back to the top, you'll pause at the top just long enough to allow the momentum to stop and even soften the knees if you feel a little dizzy. And then going the other way, coming across over the right leg. You can let the head hang in the middle and then back up to the other side. And really just tapping into what feels good. And sort of turning your world upside down and right side up, time and time again, almost like a little Ferris wheel. And if at any time it doesn't feel good, you just pause in the middle, reset. I will do 2 more like this. As you come back to land at center with eyes closed, soft knees, relax the shoulders. Just noticing a shift, perhaps right away. Release the arms. Then bend your knees in the direction of your toes and slide your hands into the fronts of your knees. So you're kind of leaning forward, sort of like I don't know if you played baseball or I don't know what sport this might be, into football, getting prepared, getting ready. And your neck kind of disappears between your shoulders like a little turtle coming back. And we're just going to rotate subtly towards the right side, bringing left shoulder forward, looking over your right. And then looking left, right shoulder comes forward. And let there be some weight to your tail. So there's a natural decompression, like you're sitting back and down. You can almost push into your opposite thigh. So as I turn to the right, I push into the inner left thigh, look over the shoulder, and then to the other side. Just take some arm strength. You might feel your mid or side body back elongating. As you anchor into your heels, know that you can lift your 10 toes. They're not gripping into the floor, into the mat. You can go as smooth as you like with your breath and as long or as slow as feels good. You might even stay on one side a little longer than the other. Yeah, let's do one more to each side. As you come back to center, we'll stand all the way up, but keep the feet where they are. Reach up with the arms, inhale. And then bend at the elbows, exhale, bend at the knees, sitting into goddess. Now goddess, we don't want to have that tilt forward, but we want to come straight down between our heels. So there may be a tendency for our bum to come back. Try and draw your tail forward. It's going to make your glutes work here, back cheeks. And then your inhale, we go up. And exhale, we pull down. You can widen the feet if you need. Inhale up. Exhale, sitting low. Some call this goddess pose. And it's just bringing the energy from the earth to the sky to unite in your center. Inhale up. Exhale, pulling down. And we're going to pause on this one. I know your legs are working a little more. You might be a little warmer now. Look over your left side. So rotating your whole torso just to the left. Sit a little bit deeper. And as you unwind, come straight back up. And as you exhale, sit back in. Think about sitting into your heels. Your toes aren't gripping. Turn to your right side. Sit a little deeper. And as you unwind, come back up and release. Turn your feet in so they're parallel. And just take your hands behind at your tail. If it's okay to catch opposite hands, do that. Otherwise, hold a strap or a towel. Squeeze the elbows back. Lift the chest up. And as you exhale, hips back, heart forward, fold. Remembering that the knees are soft, so the feet are your roots, your anchor. And as you feel comfortable, release the head fully. And if it feels okay here, you'll take your eyes towards your navel. So you might notice you're looking to the end of your mat. You're still holding your head. But if you look upward towards your tail, towards your middle body, staying with that little bend in the knees, because if we go too straight, we might topple forward. So we breathe here, working the heels slightly out. Bringing that fresh oxygenated blood into the top of the head. Bring your hands to your tail, release the grip, bring the fingertips around in front of you, reach way out in front of you. Try to keep the head heavy. Try not to look forward or look down. Keep looking towards the navel. Reaching your fingertips as far, like walk them out like little animal claws, reaching a little further. And then start to drop your hips, almost like a bit of a squat. And as you drop your hips, you'll lift your heart and your head. So you'll feel the blood flow kind of neutralize here. Sitting back into the hips, into the heels. It's almost like someone was pulling on your hips, you're clawing into your mat, not letting them pull you back. Your toes might turn out a little here, and that's fine. Accommodate your knees. And start to lift your heart a little bit higher. And gradually slide your fingertips underneath your shoulders. And as the fingertips come under the shoulders, the arms are straight, so that length is still available. Your heart is quite high. Big breath in. Sit a bit lower if there's space. Draw the chin slightly in so the neck stays long. 2 more breaths. Try to breathe into the space between your shoulder blades as if someone had their hand on your chest and you couldn't breathe forward. On the last one here, slide the hands to the fronts of the shins, straighten the legs, and slide all the way back up. Releasing at the top, give your hips a little wiggle. I'll just turn this way for a moment. So give those hips a touch of a wiggle. Left hand in a fist, right hand on top. Bend your left knee. Pull your hips straight back. Bend your right knee and glide back up. So we inhale to bend, pulling back low, gliding across and back to center. One more. Bend, pull. That's just getting that femur adjusting in the hip again. Oh, we'll go the other way now. Right hand in a fist, left hand on top. Bend the right inhale. Pull the hips across. Try to let your torso go all the way across without leaving it in the center. Bend, pull, bend in the opposite leg. One more. Beautiful. And at the top, release fully. And we're going to come onto our back. So from the top of your mat, you go ahead and sit down, lie back, take your legs up to the sky. Another great way to increase your vitality, your energy in your day, or just to reset, is to put legs up. Now we're going to have legs up. We're doing this with an action. So we're going to add a little bit of core because our center body is igniting. We want to ignite the fire within to be able to move around with more ease. Arms reach up, legs reach up, push through your heels, pull back through your toes. All we're going to start with is right arm goes back, left leg goes forward. You can go as low as you choose, but I want you to make the limbs as long as you can. Deep breath in without touching the floor. Full breath out. One more. Come back to center, inhale. And switch sides. Left arm back, right leg forward. Make the limbs as long away from you as you can. The upper leg that's lifted can be slightly bent, but as the leg moves away, make it straighter. Full breath. Think navel to spine. If you're feeling this a lot in your lower back, lift your bottom leg higher and gradually bring it down so that you're keeping a connection to the low belly. Come back up to center. And now with each breath, we're going to move slowly but consistently. Right arm back, left leg forward. Breathe in. Like you're growing longer, longer, longer. Stay for the exhale. And then inhale, bring them back up to center. Stay for the exhale. So you relax the shoulders down, relax the throat and the neck, and then right arm, or sorry, left leg, left arm, right leg, the opposite side. Inhale, reach away. Stay for the exhale. That's where you might feel the quake. And then inhale back up. Stay for the exhale. So there's a good reset in the middle. Right arm back, left leg forward. Inhale. So that breath is 5, 4, 3, 2, pause. There might even be a hold of the breath and then full exhalation. Then use the inhale to come back up to center. Stay for the exhalation. Right leg forward, left arm back. So the limbs that are straight up are as important as the limbs reaching away. Everything is getting longer, getting stronger. Inhale back up to center. Push up through the heels, pull back through the toes, full exhale. One more on each side. Inhale, extend away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back up. Inhale. Full exhale. Notice if you're clenching your jaw or your throat. Right leg forward, left arm back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Inhale, come back up. Exhale for the reset. Squeeze the knees in for a moment. One hand on each knee. Circle the knees away from center. Sort of following that natural intuition of just letting those femurs cut back in the hip sockets, the knees together. Circle your ankles, a couple different directions. They might pop and crack, releasing tension. And take your right leg up and take your left foot to the floor. We want to keep this left foot down for this one. We'll bring the right hand behind the head and the left arm to the sky. The hand behind the head is to support. So without the hand, you lift the head and the heart, and then you place the hand there and let the head land in your hand. You'll actually feel more tension in your belly when you do that. If you try to pull on the head, you'll actually reduce a lot of tension here and put a lot of tension in your neck. So relax the neck. Reach across towards your right pinky toe side, even the outer shin, like you're going to slice the outer side of the leg with your pinky finger. And we'll do half breath in and 10 exhales. So half breath in, and then a pulse for shh, 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 shh. Full exhale. Catch the head, release it. Take the left leg up and bring the right foot down. Right arm reaches across. Lift the head and the heart. Catch the head with your hand. And then take a half breath in for 10. Shh, 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 shh. All the breath out. Catch the head, rest it. Switch up the legs, so right leg up, left leg down. Other side, left hand across. Break when you need to. Lift your head and your heart. Catch the head. Think about lifting your chest up. Shh, 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 shh. Catch the head, rest it for a moment. Left leg up, right leg down. Right arm across, lift the head and the heart, lift the center of your heart, lift your shoulder blades up, half breath in for 10. Shh, 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 shh. Catch the head, both feet down, full breath in, and a humming, ta-da! You made it through that, all good. Now we'll catch the knees, bring some vitality to the spine, from shoulders to tail, rock yourself front to back. And we'll come all the way up into a forward fold. You can use the hands to support that. Catch a block if you want. Let your head drop for a moment. Bend both knees, then let your torso land on your thighs. Then work the legs straighter. Hands to shins, lift halfway, inhale. Bow forward, exhale. Lift all the way up, arms stretch up, reach up, extend your torso, and then hands to heart center. Release the arms to Tadasana. We'll make our way to our belly as you inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Then plant your hands, drop your hips, step into plank. We'll take an extra breath here. Full inhale, fill up your back, and then knees up or down, lower all the way down. Point your toes, press down through 10 toenails, lift the knees, and tuck your chin so your forehead touches the mat for a moment. Feel the neck grow long, then lift your heart as you breathe in. Your head will come to, and exhale forward and down. We'll do 4 more, just waves of breath here. Inhale to pull your fingers towards your hips. Exhale, heart reaching forward and down. Inhale, full wave of breath. Forward and down. 2 more. Imagine the back of your heart lifting, the head following, and then waving the heart back into the front of the chest and the forehead touching. Long breath, 5, 4, 3, 2. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2. Pause, tuck the toes, press up and back, puppy dog. Rising into downward dog. Now from here, we'll take our right leg to the sky, step the right foot forward into a lunge. Pause, lower your left knee. Now, if you have a block or something to lean on, you can use it. Otherwise, left hand on the floor is fine here too. You'll straighten your front leg, the best of your ability. If your left knee is sensitive, cushion it. Right hand into your hip, pull it back, lift your heart, rotate open. So we're stretching that outer line of the right leg. Now there'll be a tendency for your right big toe to lift. So push the big toe mound down, lift your heart away from it. If you want to reach the arm, that feels like a direction you're headed, you can go there. Otherwise, hand on the hip is plenty. And then bend the knee, bring the hand and the hip forward, take your left arm straight up. You can keep your right hand into that hip so it's not hanging out to the side, it's slightly pulled back. As your left arm reaches up, you have the option to reach over to the right. A subtle turn of your heart up, back to center so you feel level. Bring both hands to the mat in front. Lift your back knee, step to plank. Lower chaturanga. Up dog or cobra here if you'd like. And then back into downward dog. Take your left leg to the sky. Step the left foot forward. Bring the right knee down, with or without your block. We'll pull that left leg to straight, left hand into your hip, and that subtle roll open. So as you're tugging your left hip sort of down, externally rotating the femur, you'll feel the elongation through the mid-low back, and then just watch your big toe. It's going to want to lift. Keep it plugged in. Option to take the left arm up if that's feeling like a direction to go. You could even reach over the ear. Now as we bend the front knee, keep the hand in your hip, even the thumb in the crease. As you square forward, take the right arm up. So use it as a lifting quality. So we're not just going forward, we're going up. So as you extend up out of your waist, and then a really subtle balance of fingertips towards the left side of the room. Shoulders relax down your back. Now as you come back up through center, release the hands to either side of the front foot. Step back, plank. Optional lower chaturanga all the way or halfway. Up dog or cobra. To puppy dog or downward dog. And pedal out the feet. Walk your feet about halfway up your mat and either come to your knees or right down to your seat. We're coming around with the legs in front again, but this time upright. As we sit tall here, bring your right knee in. Wrap the knee for a moment, just turn to your right side. So the feet are on equal sides, front to back, and we're looking over that right side. We're getting a nice bit of rotation. And we're going to tap into that outer hip just a little more. So you'll flex your right foot and use your left hand to catch your outer pinky toe. Now notice right away if the knee falls open. Hug it back in. Right hand like a little kickstand to lift you up. You can lean it way back or you can have it right in close. And then start to push your heel up. Pull your left shoulder in. Now, if you look forward, your feet should be like railway tracks on their own sides, not crisscrossing. As you kick up, and kick up, and kick up. You can keep a bend in that knee. You might eventually work the leg towards straight, but don't lock it into position. Make sure there's some water in that joint. Keep the breath moving. Call inhalation. Subtle rotating, looking back on your exhalation, feeling for your right heel rising. Now notice that left shoulder, it's going to get pulled out because the leg is stronger than the arm. Pull the arm back in, find the balance. Now gradually bend that knee, bring it back around in front, and stretch your right leg out. Bend the left. Wrap your right around your left, rotating the opposite way. Your right toes are flexed to the sky. Look over your shoulder for a moment. Take a breath. As you exhale, think navel towards spine, helping to give you a little more access. And you can look to the side, flex your foot, catch the pinky toe. You might just stay there and just hover the heel. When I first started doing this, I didn't realize how much it got into that outer left side. So pause and then start to invigorate the heel up without losing the shoulder. The sore shoulder wants to disconnect. Plug it in, only going as far as the shoulder can stay tucked back. As the foot, think about the foot going up rather than just forward. As it goes up and out, look over your left shoulder. Full breath in, full breath out. Then bend the knee, come back around to center, lengthen both legs out, open them about hip distance, maybe a little wider, place the feet flat, hips to heels, and then roll all the way onto your back. Then just extend the legs and relax the arms. Take 1 minute here in Shavasana. I know some of you have this 30 minutes because you're on a work schedule, so I get that. If you have the time, I'm going to stay just an extra minute or two, not long, but let yourself settle here. Invigorating the body with energy, but also allowing it a space to dissolve. We build the heat, the energy within, the fire to burn away what's no longer required. That stagnation, you might find, I know I find at this point in the year, I've eaten a lot more sugar or sweet treats, and the body is now clearing. Using these practices to clear that space, whether emotionally, physically, mentally. Get quiet for this last minute. Now, if you have time and you'd like to stay here longer, by all means, feel free to stay here and you can simply sign out. Otherwise, if you'd like to finish upright with me, you're welcome to gradually move on to your right side, reigniting that lift, coming back to a tall seat with eyes closed. You can grace your hands to Anjali Mudra, prayer position, and bow inward, just honoring this time. The consistency in your practice and your movements and your breath is all in a direction of growth, expansion, exploration of what's to come. As my teacher, Julia, shared with us, the unknown is sometimes why we practice. We practice to prevent. We may never know what we've prevented, but I think I'd rather not know. I bow to your light. Namaste.